Hello everyone, Jeff again, Elite Sports Shooting. Today I've got the Stoeger P350 in my hand. It is a 3.5-inch shotgun. It's composite. It's just the black on black version, and what we're going to do is we're going to do a cleaning video. Now, I know I already did a cleaning video, but the cleaning video I did it with my mindset that I'm actually instructing people who've taken shotguns apart before. Not from the perspective that if you've never taken a shotgun apart and put it back together, and now the best way to do that would be point of view. Now, I did have a subscriber that did say that if I could redo something point of view. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that kind of feedback. It changed my perspective, and I really appreciate that. A couple other things I had to do is, if you've noticed a little bit in the camera or in the video, you see things kind of getting a little darker and lighter. That's the autofocus on the camera, and it's doing its job. I didn't realize, but I needed more light, and I also needed a taller stand, because the stand that I had it sits about five feet tall. I needed one that was a lot higher that could actually point down over my shoulder. So I did need to upgrade a few things, and that's what I love about this. This is a learning process, and every problem that I come across, I learn more about it, and that's what this is all about. So thank you for sticking with me. Thank you for the feedback. That kind of feedback is awesome. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump into it. I have to put the stand. I got to reset up the stand so you can actually see over my shoulder. So if you give me a minute, I'll be right back. Thank you. All right, so we got the Stoeger P350, and we're going to start by taking the fore end cap off. Just set that aside, and we're going to pull the barrel off, and then we're going to pull the pump slide and bolt right apart, and the bolt just literally comes off. The Stoeger P350 is probably one of the easiest shotguns that I have ever cleaned. For the trigger group, I use a punch of some sort. I use a chainsaw file. I'm just going to put that right in. Just needs a little convincing. Now this is an ambidextrous pin. You could put it in either side, so it doesn't matter what side comes out first. Man, it's being disagreeable today. We'll push it right out. So the pin's right there. Now we're just gonna rock the entire trigger group right out. So as you can see, definitely one of the easiest shotguns. There's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 parts, 7 including the choke. So I'm going to go ahead, and you can use a choke wrench. I clean this thing so often that it just goes in and out. I mainly just use my finger. So I have not shot this since I cleaned it. Get some paper towel. It's good to have lots of paper towel at hand. So I'll normally just take some gun treatment, the G96. I've got little bottles, and then I got a big one here too. So when I'll actually take some of this to the range, because it seems I have issues with the bolt. It's either the bolt or the trigger. I haven't narrowed it down on this shotgun here, but yeah, we'll just Spray everything down. Spray inside the receiver. Spray the tube down. I'll also spray the pump action slide rails a little bit. I did get a little bit on the barrel, and that's not a bad thing. I usually wipe that down last. Just get a little bit of that oil on there so it doesn't rust, and it just cleans up like a dream. It just dresses it up like it's going to the prom. Wipe down the outside of the receiver. Clean up the magazine tube. Now, I did spray in there already, but due to technical difficulties, I had no sound. Just wipe it down really good. And then wipe off any excess you have on the outside of the receiver. And the stock. Now on this shotgun here, the slide, like the pump is a little on the sticky side, so I'm gonna try and leave a little bit more gun oil. Maybe I should put gun oil on the slide to just down the slide rails. Not much, just a little tiny coating. Just a little bit. And we're going to wipe down the bolt. Now the thing about that I love about this shotgun, and even though it takes a little bit more time to clean it, I shouldn't say more time to clean it, I have to clean it more often. This tears down, cleans, and puts it back together in minutes. I'll take my bristle brush. Make sure that we get those threads for the choke down at the far end. Now you can use patches. I clean so many, I go through so many patches that I ended up not doing the patch system anymore, and I just so there you can see it's maybe I got a little bit of dirt in there still. It looks pretty good though. We'll ram it down there one more time. There we go. And I will pay particular attention to the threads down just inside the muzzle of the barrel. There, wipe it down a little bit better. Wipe the choke tube down. And I always put just a little bead of oil. I'll just kind of make sure we coat the whole, all the threads. Now you can use, and maybe you should use, the choke wrench. I do this so often that I ended up I usually take my choke tubes down to the range if I ever have problems. But now I just put my finger in there and I just kind of twist it a little bit. Okay, so we know that's clean. Now, the trigger group isn't too bad. Like an old bristle toothbrush. You don't want to start taking that apart. You just have to clean, make sure you're getting the gunk out of it. It does have a semi inertia system that opens up that bolt and pushes back the action a little bit to reduce some of that recoil. Be careful not to pull that trigger, and if you do pull the trigger, or actually yeah, I even had the safety on, that's probably the best. Put the safety on, I'll pull the trigger and release so I can get right down in there and do some more cleaning. Because you never want to dry fire it. I have to here and there to do trigger pull tests, but I don't want you to do it on yours. That could be part of my issue with this shotgun, but I've only dry fired this 3 times to do a trigger pull test, the best of 3. Alright, so let's reset that trigger. And we're going to hit that safety. Alright, so she's ready to go back together. So we're going to put the rear part of the trigger in first. Maybe. Yeah. So, rear part of the trigger in first. And then just line up that hole to put the pin back in. Now, it doesn't need much convincing to go back in. I'll take the butt end of a screwdriver and just tap it in so it's in place, and that's really all it needs to put that trigger group back in. And then we're just going to set that bolt back in the pump slide rail and slide her all back together nice and carefully. And try to slide it all the way to the back so you can put the barrel in. This goes all the way back in just so. I'm trying to do this as odd as possible so I don't mess up the shot. Normally I'd stand her right up on end and put everything back together. Now once you're all done, wipe her down, get all the excess off. Like I even still have some stuff on my hands. Maybe I should have put the gloves on. And then we're going to wipe this side down. And I'm going to rack it. There you have it. And that's it for me. So if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. I do like questions and comments. I do try to get back to everybody. Sometimes there's quite a few. I do get messages from all over, so all kinds of social media. But anyways, that's it for me. If you like the content of the video, click that like button. I really appreciate it. And if you haven't yet subscribed, hit that subscribe button, and always remember to keep both eyes on your target. Thank you, everyone.